The texts have stopped. The calls have gone silent, and it's making you question everything. Your thumb hovers over her name in your contacts. You're checking your phone compulsively, rereading the last conversation for the 10th time, trying to pinpoint the exact moment things went wrong right when they felt so good. It's that gut-wrenching, hollow drop in your stomach when you realize the vibrant, exciting energy has vanished, and you have absolutely no idea why. It's more than confusing, it's disorienting, it's frustrating, and it can make you feel completely, utterly powerless. You feel your own confidence start to fray at the edges. There's a popular, almost seductive idea out there that this exact silence is the ultimate sign you've completely captivated her mind, that her pulling away is a paradoxical signal that her feelings are growing so strong, so fast, that she's overwhelmed and needs to retreat. And while that can be one possibility in a complex emotional landscape, we need to be brutally honest about something right up front before we go any further. Often, silence is just silence. It's a dead end. It can mean she's not interested, she's met someone else, her ex came back into the picture, or the connection you felt simply wasn't there for her. Ignoring that harsh reality is a recipe for disaster, delusion, and a lot of wasted time. But what about that specific kind of silence? The one that descends right after a period of intense connection, after great dates filled with laughter and vulnerability, after you both acknowledged an undeniable chemistry. That's the silence that sends good men into a tailspin of self-doubt and anxiety, and that's precisely what we're breaking down today. This isn't about learning a new set of mind games or manipulative tactics. This is about understanding the real foundational human psychology at play when attraction meets fear and uncertainty. The goal here is to empower you so you can stop seeing her silence as a personal threat and start seeing it with objective clarity. By the end of this, you will understand the mature, healthy way to navigate this situation, not by playing games, but by demonstrating genuine, unshakable strength. So why does a woman go quiet right after a powerful connection seems to be forming? Most men immediately jump to one of two polarized conclusions: the self-deprecating, I must have done something horribly wrong, or the more hopeful, ego-protective, she must be so into me that she's scared. The truth, which is often less dramatic, is that when she pulls back, it could be for any number of reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Life is complicated and messy. She could be completely overwhelmed with a looming deadline at work, a project that demands all her mental energy. She could be dealing with a sudden family crisis, a sick parent, or a friend who needs her support. She might just be a natural introvert who, after a period of high social and emotional output, needs to retreat into her cave to recharge her batteries. To assume her silence is a verdict on you is to place yourself at the center of her universe, when in reality you're still just a new and developing part of it. Or it could be about you, but not in the way you think. When feelings of connection and attraction intensify, so does vulnerability. For anyone, man or woman, truly opening up to a powerful new connection can bring up a lifetime of past hurts, anxieties, and fears of abandonment. That amazing date where you both connected so deeply? For you, it was a green light. For her, it might have been both exhilarating and a blaring alarm bell to her nervous system, signaling her to slow down and process what's happening. So she might pull back, not from you specifically, but from the sheer intensity of her own emotions. She needs a quiet moment, a pocket of stillness to regain her emotional footing and figure out if these powerful new feelings feel safe and sustainable. The absolute worst thing you can do here is panic. Chasing her with double texts, the classic, "Is everything okay?" or demanding to know if you did something wrong only signals one thing: that you're emotionally reactive and that your internal sense of stability depends entirely on her constant validation. It makes her emotional processing about your emotional needs. The right move isn't to play a reciprocal game of silence, but to first do nothing. Don't chase, don't text, don't call. Your calm, unbothered, and patient demeanor is the most powerful initial response. It communicates that you are emotionally stable, that you have a full life of your own, and that you respect her enough to give her the space she might be implicitly asking for without creating more drama. Now, it is absolutely vital to understand the difference between someone taking healthy, necessary space and someone using destructive communication patterns to punish or control you. This distinction is everything. The term stonewalling, famously coined by relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman, is one of the key predictors of relationship failure. In his research, he identified 4 communication patterns so toxic he called them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Criticism is attacking your partner's character. Contempt is showing disrespect with sarcasm, mockery, or condescension, and is considered the most destructive. Defensiveness is shifting blame, and stonewalling is when a person completely shuts down, refuses to communicate, and emotionally abandons their partner during a conflict. It feels cold, dismissive, and is a dead end for any kind of resolution. It's often used as a form of punishment. That is not the same as needing a moment to cool off or process emotions. Healthy space is different, and the key difference is the intention, and ideally the communication around it. Someone taking healthy space might say, "Hey, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now and just need 20 minutes to cool down, but I do want to talk about this after." Gottman's research suggests that taking a break of at least 20 minutes can be essential to let your body's physiological stress response calm down. The antidote to stonewalling is this kind of self-soothing and then re-engaging. The temporary silence we're talking about in early dating often isn't meant to be malicious. It's a messy, unspoken, and often clumsy request for that very space. She might not have the tools or the comfort level with you yet to say, "I'm feeling a lot and need a day to myself." So she just goes quiet. If you interpret her need for a pause as a malicious act of stonewalling, you'll likely react with anger or hurt, confirming any fears she might have and pushing her further away. But if you recognize it as a possible, albeit imperfect, need for self-regulation, you can respond with the calm patience that demonstrates profound emotional intelligence. You're not tolerating disrespect. You're showing that your self-worth doesn't crumble the moment the communication rhythm shifts. Now, here is the critical juncture where most guys get it disastrously wrong. They hear the advice, "Give her space," and decide to twist it into a game of strategic silence. They think, "Oh, she's pulling away. I'll show her. I'll be even more silent. I'll mirror her and make her feel the scarcity." This Machiavellian approach doesn't project strength. It initiates a toxic cycle that relationship researchers call the demand withdrawal pattern. This pattern is exactly what it sounds like. One person pushes for connection, complains or makes demands, the demand, and the other person pulls away, ignores or shuts down, the withdrawal. When she pulls away and you respond with a calculated punitive silence intended to teach her a lesson, you're actively participating in and escalating this destructive dynamic. And the research on this is crystal clear. This pattern is incredibly destructive to romantic relationships. A massive review of over 70 studies confirmed that the demand withdrawal pattern is directly associated with lower relationship satisfaction, reduced intimacy, and poor communication. It's also linked to serious individual problems like increased anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. It's a strong predictor of breakups and divorce. So the popular idea of mirroring her silence to create scarcity and uncertainty isn't a power move. It's you helping to build a broken foundation for a relationship that hasn't even started yet. Sure, some psychological studies have suggested that a little bit of uncertainty can pique someone's interest at the very beginning of courtship. A 2010 study found that women were most attracted to men when they were uncertain about the men's feelings because it caused them to think about the men more. But this is a fleeting, superficial effect. It's a spark, not a sustainable flame. Other, more comprehensive research shows that people ultimately feel more sexual desire and put more effort into seeing someone again when they feel confident about that person's interest. Long-term, healthy, secure relationships are built on trust and security, not on endless games of who can care less. Intentionally playing hard to get is a short-term strategy that backfires in the long run, breeding anxiety and mistrust. Your goal shouldn't be to become a scarce commodity. It should be to be a man of such solid, undeniable value that your presence is a clear and unambiguous positive in her life. When a woman you've had a strong and promising connection with suddenly goes quiet, her mind doesn't just go blank about you. In fact, it's often the opposite. It's highly likely she's entered a re-evaluation phase. Her mind is a private screening room and she's replaying your conversations, analysing her own feelings, and asking herself a series of critical questions. Is this for real? Do I actually like him this much? Was that spark I felt genuine, or was I just caught up in the moment? Is he really as confident as he seems? Am I ready for this? She is essentially building the emotional case for or against moving forward with you, all inside her own mind. She simply cannot do this deep internal work while she's actively receiving new texts, calls, and notifications from you. New data disrupts the analysis of old data. She needs to step away from the real-time interaction to watch the mental replays without interruption. This is precisely why giving her a short period of intentional space is so crucial. Your initial absence creates a small but significant void. It stops the flow of new information and forces her to sit with the positive feelings and memories she has already associated with you. This is the moment where she might start to genuinely miss your specific sense of humor, the sound of your voice, the way you made her feel seen. The quiet doesn't erase you. It amplifies the emotional imprint you've already made. But be warned, this has a shelf life. Chasing her immediately interrupts this crucial process and screams neediness, sabotaging your case. But on the other hand, letting the silence stretch on indefinitely, for a week, then 2, moves you out of the healthy space category and into that destructive demand withdrawal territory we just discussed. You're not being passive by giving her a day or 2 of space. You're being strategically patient. You're demonstrating trust. Trust that the connection you built was strong enough to stand on its own, and you're giving her the priceless gift of time and space to let her realize it for herself. Deep down, when a woman pulls back to process her intense and confusing feelings, there is a secret test happening. She is secretly, perhaps even subconsciously, hoping you won't fall apart. She's hoping that you are the confident, centered, and emotionally secure man you presented yourself to be on your dates. She's hoping you won't be the stereotypical guy who immediately bombards her with needy texts, gets passive-aggressive, or starts posting sad, cryptic quotes on social media for her to see. Every single time a man reacts to distance with neediness, it sends a loud and clear message. My emotional well-being is your responsibility. My stability depends on you. That is a massive, deeply unattractive burden to place on anyone, especially someone you're just getting to know. A high-quality woman doesn't want to be your source of validation. She wants to join you in a life you've already built and are proud of. She wants to be a wonderful addition to your world, not become the unstable center of it. Your ability to remain grounded and unreactive during her silence is a direct reflection of your inner strength and self-worth. This is the time to double down on what makes you a high-value man. Don't just go to the gym, have an amazing workout and push for a new personal record. Don't just chip away at that project at work. Make a significant breakthrough that gets you excited. Don't just sit at home wondering, call up your friends and plan a weekend trip. Immerse yourself completely in your own mission and your own life. This isn't about pretending to be busy to show her. This is about actually being busy with your own full, engaging, and meaningful life. There is a fundamental energetic difference between pretending not to care and genuinely having other priorities that fulfill you. She will feel that difference. This is profoundly attractive because it demonstrates that you are not dependent on her for your happiness or your sense of self. You're a self-sufficient man who is choosing to have her in his life, not a desperate man who needs her in it. She pulled away from the intensity, hoping to find a rock she could anchor to, not another boat being tossed around in the same emotional storm. By staying calm and focused on your purpose, you become that rock. So what do you do when the silence is stretched for a few days, say 3 to 5 days? How do you re-engage without seeming needy, but also without playing a petty, childish game? The answer is emphatically not mirroring. Mirroring her low investment with your own low investment is a race to the bottom. It's you willingly continuing the toxic demand-withdrawal pattern and ensuring the connection fizzles out in a cloud of resentment. The confident, mature, healthy move is to reopen the door for connection in a way that is light, fun, and completely low pressure. You aren't demanding a response or an explanation for her silence. You're simply reminding her of the good vibe you shared and showing that you're still interested without being thrown off your center by the pause. For example, after a few days of silence, instead of a needy accusatory text like, "Hey, haven't heard from you, is everything okay?" or a passive-aggressive, "still alive," try something rooted in your shared experience. A great template is, "Just saw heard X and it made me think of our conversation about Y. Hope you're having a good week." For example, "Just saw a golden retriever trip over its own feet and it made me think of our conversation about clumsy dogs, lol. Hope you're having a good week." This text is brilliant for several reasons. First, it is not demanding. It doesn't ask a question she's obligated to answer. Second, it references a shared positive memory, immediately reigniting the good feelings from your last interaction. Third, it's light-hearted and communicates that you're out living your life and a fun thought of her just happened to cross your mind. It's confident, warm, and zero pressure. If she responds with warmth and matches that energy, you can gradually rebuild the connection from there. If her response is still cool, brief, or she doesn't respond at all, you leave it there. You pull back with grace, knowing you made a healthy, confident attempt. You don't send a follow-up. This one attempt shows you are socially and emotionally intelligent. You're respecting her space while also making it easy for her to step back into a positive connection. You're not being cold, you're being warm and balanced, which creates a sense of safety and ease that makes her want to close the distance herself. Navigating the early stages of dating in this modern world can often feel like a minefield of confusing signals, mixed messages, and unspoken rules. But the moment you decide to throw out the manipulative rulebook on games and tactics, and instead focus on operating from a set of healthy, confident, and internally validated principles, you can begin to move with self-assurance instead of constant anxiety. If you've been in this exact situation, drop a comment below and share your story. What did you do, and what was the outcome? Did you chase? Did you go silent? Did you try to re-engage? Your experience could be the one thing that helps someone else who's feeling that same frustration and confusion right now. And if you're ready to stop feeling confused by dating dynamics and want to learn how to build genuinely attractive, healthy, and sustainable relationships, do two things for us. Hit that like button if you got real value from this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content that cuts through the noise. Remember the core idea from today. Her silence is ambiguous. It's a blank screen onto which you can project all of your fears, or you can choose to project nothing at all. It could be about her, about you, or about something completely unrelated. You can never truly control her reasons, but you can always, 100% of the time, control your response. Your greatest tools are your own emotional stability and a steadfast focus on your own purpose. Don't panic, don't chase, and please, for the sake of your own dignity and the health of your future relationships, don't engage in silent, petty games that are proven to destroy connection. Give a small, strategic amount of space for her to breathe and for the positive emotions to resonate. And then, open the door for connection in a warm, low-pressure, confident way. True, lasting attraction isn't forged in manipulative games of tension. It's built on a foundation of mutual respect, emotional stability, and the quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who knows his own worth, with or without her. Stay grounded, and you'll find that the right person will naturally gravitate toward your strength.